Okay, I think we will go ahead and get started. We have a few people viewing already. So, hi, everybody. I'm Steve Carl, and welcome to the new family room. So, this is our 24th live reading of poetry that I've written going back to 1991, because the stuff before that is too cringe for me to read. So a little recap. So I started this live stream poetry reading series in March of 2020, right when the pandemic really started to become problematic for people to go out and gather in groups. And I thought it might be a good way to pass the time. I had all these poems that I had never read them at poetry readings before. And so I started doing a weekly series on every Sunday. And I think I did that for most of the Sundays. I think there were a couple of holiday Sundays that I took off. Like I think I took Father's Day off that year or something. And so at the end of in 5 or 6 months after we started, I had run out of poems, and so we put a pause on the reading series until I could write some more. And so I think probably 5 times since then we've come back, and I've done readings to read the new stuff that I've been writing since 2020. Most of that has consisted of something that I've been calling Hypnopompic Diaries. And the idea behind that was I was thinking about the fact that the activity level, the activity areas in our brain are different during the various stages of when we're asleep and having dreams than they are when we're awake. And so I was interested in exploring a way to create a poetry out of that different shape of the brain. Now, of course, I can't write in my sleep. And so the closest I could come was I devised this practice where I would wake up on mornings when I didn't have to be anywhere in a hurry. And before I was fully awake, I would just start writing, just without any prompts or just half asleep and just writing improvisationally whatever popped into my head. And then I would give it a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then I would go back later and look at it and edit it. And so I've written, and I sort of wasn't sure how long that process was going to continue to be interesting or viable. So every so often I would just cut it off and, gather it into a manuscript. And so I've done that 3 times so far. This stuff that I'm reading today will be the 4th volume of those. So the first volume was called Pandemic Summer. That was basically stuff from that first 3 months of writing. And then the stuff going through the rest of 2020 was called Half Dreamt. And then all of the stuff from 2022 got gathered up into a volume called Apophenic Epiphanies, which I read last March. Last March was my last reading that I've done before this one, so it's been about a year and a half. So the reason that it's been so long is because shortly after that last reading, we decided to move from our house in Honolulu to a new place in Humboldt County here in California. So that took up a lot of my energy for the next several months, both trying to figure out a way to bring 4 people and 2 dogs and 2 cats and a bird and a house full of stuff 3,000 miles to the east and a few hundred miles to the north of where we were. So we did that. And so that sort of formed a natural ending to the Hypnopompic Diaries. So I'll be reading the final volume that I finished editing not too long ago today. And then also, I've started a couple of new projects. And so at the end, I'll be teasing a little bit from those, those works in progress. So first, I will be doing Hypnopompic Diaries Volume 4, which is called Brain Soliloquies. And then these pieces don't have titles, but I dated all of the entries. So I'll read the date, and that will kind of be a marker when each poem ends, or begins, rather. So this is January 1st, 2022. Theorized Roosevelt fallacy generator, cobalt closure map, cadaver. Exuberant fellowship appreciates caloric resolve. January 2nd. Kilometric tunnel visitor syndrome. Momentary mileage dry run constellator, sweetie. Vasectomy wreckage. Alto sax lima bean as core market deception is nugget reliquary modernism, as overt candidacy wayfarer is pardonable eccentricity. The old Bologna tactic backfires. A gentle cacophony spinster. Spiritual attunement through tinnitus. Suitable incision site for democracy. Provisional extension of ice cream privilege and karaoke selections. The bargain attic capitalism package. January 8th, 2022. Corduroy guardrails blend canticle nosegays into apportionment nonsense. Chelated whippersnapper duty apologizes for charisma misfortune. Introduce doctrinal negative time with its overt megalomania arrangements and fibromyalgia suddenness spasms. Another uncanny valley Sunday here in carbon footprint land. Velour parka, tank top. January 9th. Sedition and distraction, myopic vacation and division. January 10th. Ziggurat smoke. Bolted pneumonia palaver, opinion vegetable matrix, modular peptide displacement, nephritis challenger, topiary dispenser galoshes, medication detail balloon. January 15th. Gelatin visionary enclave improves, surrender dormancy advances. January 16th. Vagabond headpiece, social emoji firing squid, bearing totalities pressure juice, mellowed trauma of pylons gone by. An opaque audacity fellowship shoots up front. Outset immersion controls a mechanized memer's unmentionable memory. January 17th. Malaprop engine roaring to the wrong way running quicksilver. January 19th. Barry Schneekov. January 22nd. Frightful bassinet of lovely doom, purified deserter reckoned. Individuate me now by ring ear, a tinnitus production galley. Adept mountaineer, phase in daunted by liner note. Play the corpuscle rag. Energy geezers emerge from the groovy gibbon. January 28th. Infiltrator data point miraculously weaponizes COVID mapmaker, falsifies Lambda caddy welcoming brilliant Malthusian demonstration, collaborative suicide ensues, threatening to sue a boy named Sue, gladly motoring way beyond a reasonable bedtime, Minnie Mouse pantsuit, an intangible tangerine tantalizes Beelzebub mock-up. January 29th. Cats have unerring inner clocks. They know what's what, or rather, when's when. Cafe maneuver and delicatessen protocol. Correction photojournal presents a composite condescension apparatchik, compartmental illness, tinfoil haberdasher, corpuscularianism. February 3rd. Mass takeover at the opium processing plant. Seizure of the means of prediction. She's a bagman for the stars. Attentive attaché nonsense children stick around, compartmentalizing the trauma of capital. February 5th. Partridge familiarity calamity, a shapely mishap with malnutrition. We celebrate the covert immersion into dodgeball capitalism, dodgeball public health, dodgeball justice, education, border, elections, and dodgeball climate action. February 6th. Somniloquies. Ubiquity in celebration is pell-mell, variant, possible, clear, direct mapping. Our centralized Pharaohisms aside, the boondocks do beckon me. Do beckon one. Apparent parallels coordinate the eerie bacchanalia. February 12th. Patterned voluptuary skyscraper on the vestiges of plenitude vocates a pardonable Western for habitus. Designate a papal Rotarian ceremony. The investiture is settled. And paper over the terminal conversion of neural endurance. February 16th. Continuum of bobos is officiously squibbed. Parkour dimension evacuated with bubbly scrubbing. Peloton dilemma unmasks metropolis rumble before compelling atrocity mall infers tellingly. Another basic museum companion terrorizes sophomoric evaluation compress meniscus. February 19th. Jawboning paranormal postage stampede. Guerrilla lambased necromancy of atavistic cartoon. Uncanny den mom. Zigmaster Zag, the photo balloon of infancy. Fantastic to belabor the pointed stick designer on top of old smoke bomb. February 21st. Palindrome Alley, Alphabet City's major thoroughfare. Ketamine pushback, hot toddy if you're deep, to wade in time. Congressional astral plane filler, and hangover manicure solution. Follicle of bollocks following savior manufacturing. Another head of state id gambit. Ruts the line. Cuts the cue. February 24th. Possessor of physicist bases of fatal enjambment on telemetric certitude or belligerence monumentality. The insurrection went live on a relative quartermaster's wager borrowing conjugal corridor tech from atomic tonic. Actually, atomic tunic is better. Deliberate zealotry funnels snake casings through audible mop-toppery. The puppet show credibility validator. Caloric mentality enthusiasm is pardonable. February 26th. Overzealous corsage. Transcendent vellum apocalypse over the palimpsest of history. Scrape me a sheepskin, we're scuppered, and starting over again. Miserific and botheration, apologists for the death dealer flood the network. February 27th. This is still 2022. Metabolic indoctrination, Karen, serves the Physi-Alexandrian brew, the protocol opinion, sifter upended too cheaply. The mystified handful powers down the town hole. March 5th. The mammal's voracious signal-mongering perpetuates the sonosphere. Interior urine pit finesses the contraindicators. March 6th. Embraceable Ukraine. No Russian tea for cakewalk. Putin perp walk, maybe. Still waiting on that one. March 12th. Free blasting cataract opines on feathered federal particle intelligence threat. It bakes and behooves you now to shortcut a primordial donation in silicon under every overture, overtly memorizing a fabulous manacle. These wellness marketers vacate the Neanderthal lemmings. March 13th. Threat armistice mandates a possibility cathedral up to uptown carnival positivity precedent. Coalition of badinage officiates at the nonsense figuration metacantical. Oratory fumble motif. I augur depth massage opportunities, allowing for ovational keratin packaging. Overture note-taking. Appreciates middling co-determinant of ethereality, Pop-Tart normality, snifter opening border gambit in a caption gibbon. This one is dated March 20th through June 19th of 2022. So you can tell that was right in the middle of being just way distracted by having to move. And this is one of the, this is actually an exception. This does have a title. It's called The Dixiecrat Hummus Variations. And it has an epigraph from my son Donovan. Load-bearing soy sauce. Abstract passivity catastrophe wells up under wellness junta, a cabal of manacle-wielding jamokes, entirely retiring on pension vertices, vestiges. Bowling lawn Cheney integrates with forceps considerable monastery discipline and colludes with Saturnalian abandonment issues. June 20th. Elkhead mental corrective, swallowing severance medicine based on meditative tinnitus. That word pops up a lot in this manuscript. The forest entire is quieting with oxeye and iris for dazzle. June 26th. Emphatic Zillow recriminations. The rainbow is always there, mostly invisible, but apt to spring open momentously if called upon in its way. July 18th. Power malingering. The approach is bon vivant. A redwood bell captain approaching constitutional appendectomy. July 28th. Gawking insufficiency berates clock-making capacity freedoms in Apollonian veneers of removal, statin maintenance. Powerful majesty groomers ply their traitorousness on bathyspherical assemblages, credible uncorking of Velcro dramatics, dissertation fatality. July 29th. Thieves would be quieter. Abstract or Amtrak potentiality of ensemble barricade. Wows. Penitent populist clarification tango. See rabbit hole. August 8th. The editor who said he wanted to publish my poems turned out to be just my dog in a business suit. August 16th. Pronate Trutha Society. It's contralto, not contralto. Loizaga Futures. Market Basket. Lucky Apollo 13. Geriatric variable. You are an exquisite breathing birther. No apologies instigated. It's Professor Corn Pop to you. Disheveled egg starving awaken the moon's generosity and fervor for salty fluidity. That didn't sound right, but the words are elsewhere maturing into, I get it. August 19th. Bradilac. August 22nd. Boardroom vortex. Snoring applies to makeup appreciation counter for probable invitation. Mastectomy waiver. Pantophilia postulate undermines historical barbecue-flavored meltdown. Couch potato equivalent in digital epoch. Questionable unloyalty vacates the oval on a catastrophic whim, then incites a riot to preserve a fantasy of it. Faculty corrective. Read the label on the bottle. Dungarees. Pelt. Morphemes. Categorical gorgeousness. This beauty delusion. Paranormal cutie cakes. Bootlicking malcontents. Vaudeville tuning fork and soup kitchen. Hypnotist, fetch! September 25th. Romp. Admin. Precision. Welfare. Conundrum. Balderdash. Gorilla. Empathy. Valor. Gondola. Victimhood. Fathoming. Covenant. Zealot. Congress. Then there's another big gap. And the next one is January 8th through the 18th of this year. Elementary Mid-Year Watson. That could also be a title. Gasket Man-Crater Benevolence threatens mandibular attaché meltdown. Zinger contusion is opportunity socks. Mandelbrot mustache. January 28th through February 20th. Satanic Ponzi Scheme. Warren Impresario Chicklet. Icicle Maneuver. We Fluidly Bunker Susurration. Bafflement and Opportunity Casserole. Wake the Finicky Sleeper and Apportion Melancholy Hand-Me-Downs. Projectile Dysfunction. The Stimuli Mooches. Brain Soliloquies. Dragons in the Choruses. And finally, June 5th, 2023. Fanfic Mabinogi Apologetics, Contemporize Micronaut Banality, Splitting Courage Insult, Up Terror Junction, A Corrective Metastatic Capstan, Berating Semper Fi Drip Division for Allocative Uplift, The Ghost Apiary is Fallow Neutrality, when whereupon abbreviates conciliatory boasting disturbances, ululate mildew to mid-career smattering, open coax, dusty strafing, munificent doldrums, our unfortunately cylindrical messiah, crab cakes ingested, mentee baseboard. So that was the Hypnopompic Diaries Volume 4, Brain Soliloquies. Thank you. So I do still occasionally use that writing method, but I'm not sort of using it as its own thing anymore. I'm using it in service of the other projects that I'm working on. So the first of these projects, I don't have an overarching title for it yet, but a couple of years ago for Christmas, my 18-year-old gave me, wrote out a whole set, a whole number of writing prompts on little pieces of card, folded them up, taped them shut, and stuffed them into a little bottle that they gave me for Christmas. That I think it was 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right.
And so every so often, every couple of days, I will go to the bottle and pull one out and undo the seal and unfold it and read the prompt, and then I will write a poem based on the prompt. So, and I've been using all different approaches to these. Some of them I do as prose poems. Some of them I just use the method that, where I just write. Usually I'll read it the night before, so my brain has a chance to work on it while I'm asleep, and then I'll wake up at the first thing in the morning and just free write. I also have been using the method that I used in Sincerity Loops, where sometimes the prompt will mention a song. So I'll go and take the lyrics to the song and cut them up into individual words and then reorganize them into poems. So I'm just deciding on how I'm going to write the poem based on whatever the prompt seems to lead me towards. And that's ongoing. I haven't even done. I've probably done maybe a quarter of the prompts so far. So it's not finished. So I'll just read a few of these, and I'll start with the first one, which is the prompt was the familiarity of a rainbow. Rainbows are friendly to a fault. They love to connect. Some sorry excuses find them too familiar, but I love a nice prismatic sky bridge reminding the ultimate ground of being that we had a pact. The light appears white when it's straight. You just need to bend it a bit and it shows its true colors. It bows, but it never scrapes, just lights up the atmospheric vapor. It's said that unicorns excrete them, but the science types get real pissy when they hear that, so maybe keep it on the down low. Rainbows, it can be revealed here, are a sort of water slide for pots of gold. You can make one out of oil, but the really spectacular ones are solar powered. A rainbow loves you. It's okay with your gender, your pronouns, and who you love. But don't be deceived. A rainbow will kick your ass if... No, wait, that's Rambo. Sorry. A rainbow will appear out of nowhere, bringing the old Roy G. Biv to light up your mood. If you find Richie Blackmore's, you can mail it back to him on the Silver Mountain. Just be sure to use a waterproof container or the metal will rust. Let a rainbow give your eyes a Heimdall hug today. And then this is another one that was written as a prose poem. This was actually recently published in Mark Young's great magazine Otoliths, which you can find the final issue of online. The prompt is the anticipation of having something in the microwave you really want to eat. Is so delicious you could eat that, but not cold. No, you got to heat it up before you can eat it up. And this gives rise to the Ouroboros snake that is appetite. Or would be if that snake could eat its own tail cold, but it can't. Few meals are less palatable than cold tail, especially one's own. But how to close the oven door as to nuke a tail? You could cut it off, but then would it still be yours? And being a snake, you might grow a new one. And then this whole Ouroboros thing is thrown into complete chaos. It's an unresolvable paradox, like the ship of Theseus, fresh out of the repair dock, trying to sail 1 league, but having to sail half a league first, with Theseus at the helm shouting, "Everything I say is a lie," and trying to figure out whether to believe himself. But just when you think you're going to have to revisit that video on Korzybski's general semantics to make the whole thing make sense again, ding! Your burrito is ready, and your mouth is watering. Let's see a snake's mouth do that. This one's called The Egyptian Practice of Sealing Organs in Canopic Jars, Necessary for the Afterlife. Rehome my heart in jarring fashion. Lungs, liver, kidneys, Mott the Hoople playlist, fake soul, Featherlight Plus. We're gonna need a bigger ship of Ra, sis boom ba. Osiris sings us to death in a crystalline countertenor, but you know there's something he'd rather be doing. And then this is the most recent one. Waterfall, mask, gracious, dragonfly. Water falls and masks the gracious dragon. Flies, a day-long goad to allate cougars, dragging their organdy flatware to flog carious fogies in lateral adornment. Flagons ask a nodal trawl as us, so scoria adorn feral guacos. The lateral waft of flora is dayglow, auric, a garden seam, serious grace, the gnarly orca ska fad, gory and fatal, the gracious fly mask, water's dragonfall, witness a tolerance efficiency rescue, following a lifted legacy memorial and selfless kiln gap. Ramp allegory creates incipient orchestral unity savior, despite royal agony gleefully owned, naturally fleeing legalist yearnings, masked dragonfly, gracious waterfall. So there will be more of those. I will come back and read them all when that's the case. And then the other thing I've been playing around with is goes back to my obsession with music. So I've been taking songs that get stuck in my head and remaking the lyrics. So I'll take the lyrics to a song and swap them out with other words, usually words that rhyme, not all the words in the song, but the key words. So this doesn't really have any form yet. It's not cut up. It's not individual poems really, and it's not one big poem or anything. So I'm not really sure what it is, but I'll read some of the bits. So I shed spray, spew, sweat, cough on my shroud. Don't bang a clown, 'cause zoos are loud. Fixture your shelf in a moat on a liver with submarine seas and caramel grade pies. Yellow Maine bowers that bellow and scream, glowering over your head. Cook for the pearl with the stunning Versailles, and she's dawn. There must be Sunday powder here, said the stoker to the beef. There's 2 such contusions. My pants set snow belief. Pet me snake, you clown, 'cause I'm growing 2 shrubbery seals. Brain stops sleep crawling on my dread. Hike a ridge over bubbled solder. I will spay me clown. Clowns get taking a bunch of crap in this set. The strong and blinding toad that speeds through your pore will never disappear. I've greened that toad pre-spore. Shop, the shove you pave may see your bones. The toad is strong, with Lenny a blinding turn that reads us to new. We're disparate, got shoes to eat. It's just Mop Hill. Trawl the fridges that you ferned, mum fracked, Sunday will jaunt few. Anybody get that one? So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. The little insights thing here says that there are 5 comments. But on the comments sideboard, it says no comments yet, so I don't know what to make of that exactly. But thank you for your comments and your reactions. So these will stay on my Facebook page. You can find them if you go to my profile and go down into videos. They are also, if you prefer, archived on my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and do a search for Steve Carl Poetry Readings, the playlists will come up, should come up, with all 24 of these readings now, plus 2 like studio videos that I made of a couple of individual poems that I wrote 7 years ago, I think, when I was testing out my my webcam. And I wasn't happy with the way the studio videos came out, because if I made a mistake or something, I would just stop and start over. And I was spending so much time redoing the videos or trying to figure out how to edit them. And I actually realized that I prefer doing them live, because if you make a mistake live, you just have to own it and just move forward. So it's a lot less hassle, even if things don't come out perfect. But they come out perfect for the moment. So I prefer that. So most of the videos are live, and you can find them there. And I will keep writing, and I will come back and do more of these. And for today, I will bid you goodbye. Thank you very much for watching again, and we'll see you later.